right, we are going live. All right, we are live. Welcome to the epic graduation celebration of the 100 Days course in Ancient Secrets. So excited. I love it. I see some people going with their arms up like this. It really is something to celebrate. This perhaps has never happened before in the history of the world, that this many people from this many countries have been exposed in such a deep, powerful way to the ancient secrets that have been contained in this lineage that goes back thousands and thousands of years. Very warm welcome. This is something very much to celebrate. And although graduation sometimes mark the end, this is the beginning. This is the beginning. So I want to turn the time to Linda, first of all, to welcome everyone to this epic event.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us and celebrating this graduation of a 100-day course for all of these magnificent students who decided to give of themselves. And thank you for your time this morning. And I want to just ask you to put in the chat where you're joining us from so that we can acknowledge all of you as well. And also, if you could let us know who it is that you are here to celebrate. So we have people joining us from Jamaica, Cape Canaveral. Wow, we're coming through quick here. Colorado, Switzerland, Cape Coral, Florida, Brisbane, Australia, amazing. Marianne from Vietnam, Seattle, Washington, Quebec. Thank you for joining us. This is so beautiful. You know, I just want to acknowledge each and every one of you, and just being a student of the Ancient Secrets. I personally never met Dr. Naram, but I have met him through the Ancient Secrets, through Sedabeta. And I just want to thank you, Dr. Naram, for all that you've taught me, all that you've taught each and every one of us, and bringing these secrets to us and being able to come to know what you really wanted to share. I didn't come to teach you. I came to love you, and love will teach you. And this has truly been the case for each and every one of us. And I can truly acknowledge that. You know, we have people coming in from Canada, Asheville, North Carolina, UK, Iowa, Monroe, Michigan, Miami, Florida, Syracuse, New York, Cincinnati, Ohio, Mexico, Naples, Maine, LA, Toronto, Canada. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We have North Dakota, Wisconsin, Northampton, UK, just people from all over the world. We welcome each and every one of you, and I want to thank you for joining us. This is truly something worth celebrating. I celebrate each and every one of you. Thank you for being here with us.
Thank you, Linda. So beautiful. Welcome, especially to the family and friends. You know, maybe you've never been on one of these calls before about the ancient secrets, but you probably heard a lot from your loved one. They've probably been talking about it, maybe even testing out some of the home remedies or marmopoits on you. And you've been a little bit curious, what is this thing they're doing? You know? And so the fact that you're here now to celebrate really this significant accomplishment with them, we have some special things. We actually have a gift for everyone who joins this call that we'll give at the end. We're going to go into breakout rooms after about 30, 45 minutes. This isn't going to be your typical graduation. This is going to be a real celebration. So stay on the call to make sure that you receive that gift. And we want to honor them in such a way that we anchor in the possibility that will come in their lives as a result of what they've done. So since in this world, many of us already are familiar with Zoom. We know Zoom more than we ever thought we would. But there's still some things that will help on this call because we want it to be as interactive as possible. And so John DeLees is going to go through some housekeeping items about how to get the most benefit from this meeting and how to make it so it will run as most smoothly as possible and so we can all be participating. John?
Thank you, Clint. Thank you, Linda. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I've enjoyed seeing everything where everyone's from, too. So from Oklahoma, I love you and I'm with you. So these quick 3 things just to kind of help, as Dr. Clint said, to get things going is how to rename yourself, how to raise your hand, and how to give a reaction. Now, the naming yourself is going to be very important because that's going to help us as facilitators and admins to kind of make sure everyone gets in the right room. And as you should have known and heard already, we're not going to your typical pod rooms. Pods are being combined. So we go into specific, I'm going to share this real quick. Pods are going into specific names, but if you look down, that's actually the wrong one. That's for the raise your hand. If you go into, it's not letting me switch over like I expected it to.
That handsome guy.
It is a handsome guy. So we'll go with reactions. So if you need to raise your hand down at the bottom of the bar, as you bring your mouse down, you should see a little reactions tab. If you're on a phone, it may be hidden underneath the ellipse, some triple dots, but you should be able to get to reactions. You can thumbs up, give some hearts, celebrations. Feel free to use those freely and liberally. But if you have a question or you need some assistance while you're in the main room, be sure to click raise hand here. But everything else is at your disposal as well. And then the next thing is how to share change your name and make sure.
And that's so valuable because in a normal room, you'd be able to clap and applaud for people. But in this setting of Zoom, we want you to still interact. And so doing those reactions will help you engage.
Yeah, so you should see yourself up at the top of the Zoom window along with a whole bunch of other beautiful people. And if you put your mouse and hover over it, you should see some triple dots, some ellipse that you can click. And then if you notice, the third option there is rename. Once again, the option for phones are going to be a little different, but they still should be in somewhere roughly the same options to be able to find it, to be able to just rename yourself and to be sure to put your room number, which can be like A through Z, depending on which pod you're in. And everyone has that, right, Clint? We don't need to supply that to them.
Yeah, so if you know your family member or friend has told you which room to join, just right at the beginning of the name, you just change your name and put the room letter. Now, if you didn't come with a friend or family member, you're celebrating everyone, then just feel in your heart, any kind of room A through U, and just go ahead and put at the beginning of your name, just that letter, so we can help make sure you get into the right room at the right time.
Perfect. So with the tech out of the way and realizing that we are not robots, it is my distinct pleasure to be able to introduce, I'm sure everyone knows, but if you don't, he is a man who doesn't need much introduction. It's Gary Malkin. Over the past year or so, I've had the pleasure of getting to know him first just through the exhibition of his sheer just musical and vibrational genius of how to really connect head with heart. And it's one of the things I really love and has helped me even more throughout this course is to get out of my head more and to be able to be and lead with my heart. And so Gary just creates such a sacred space that's magical in a beautiful way. So I want to invite you all to please create a space, create some quiet around you and distraction free as much as you can, because this is really going to help set the foundation for all of this. So without further ado, Gary Malkin.
Yeah, and go ahead and you can practice by putting a reaction, put a heart on the screen or a clap or whatever you want to. Just go ahead and practice that. Fantastic. Gary. Let's see, I may have to.
There we go. I got it. There we go. Hey, what a privilege for me to be able to celebrate all of you. I'm so honored and thrilled, and I'm so excited about the fact that I get to actually practice the intention of what wisdomoftheworld.com, and which was what Clint and I set up, actually in the field, to actually, while you're learning this masterful, beautiful, extraordinary work that Dr. Naram has trained Clint to do over these last 10 years, and now he's such a beautiful embodiment, and now you all are. It's something really, really special for me to be able to set the tone. You know, when I was 18, a freshman in college, I remembered listening to a song by Joni Mitchell. We are stardust, We are golden, and we've got to get ourselves back to the garden. And then I found out that Brian Swims says that once the world was lava, and then it sang opera. In other words, we came out of the world. We have evolved, and we are kin with the rocks, the trees, the animals. And it inspired this line that is in this song that I want to sing to you today. And as you hear this song, just know that this song was created with a deep, intimate connection with the understanding that we're going to disappear one day, our physical presence. And we never know when that's going to happen. And so living with that awareness around our shoulders, around ourselves, in our consciousness, it changes everything when we remember who we are. Stardust. At the end of this, I'm going to ask you to sing, even if we can't hear one another. Let's practice our ability to sense into the field and know that we're singing with each other. So when we sing, don't let the fact that you're singing all by yourself, that you're never by yourself. We're never alone. So this is a good opportunity to practice that. Here we go. This is a tribute to all of you for what you've accomplished and what you're going to accomplish as we all join together in the heart. The sun comes up, I hear a cry. A baby's born, I see her eyes. We're made of grace and a wisp of stars. Do you remember who you are? We take first steps and we fall each day. Then we take that breath to go on our way. We're made of hope and a wisp of stars. Do you remember who you are? Seasons come and seasons go, like clouds pass through the sky. First we're born and then we go, without ever knowing why. We have this moment, we have each other. Ain't that the truth? We have this breath of life that's gone in a blink of an eye. We fill our days with endless goals, yet we search and pray to find our souls. We're made of song and a wisp of stars. Do you remember who you are? We plant a seed and watch it grow. A flower blooms, but the petals know. We're a flash of light and a wisp of stars. Will you remember? Will we remember? We will remember who we are. I have a quote for you all to take with you. Do all the good you can, by all the means you can, in all the ways you can, in all the places you can, at all the times you can, to all the people you can, as long as ever you can. And you can sing with me. It goes, we will remember who we are, all together. We will remember who we are. 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 We're a flash of light and a wisp of stars. Will you remember who you are? Bless you on your ancient secrets journey, and may all know that we're with you and we love you. Aho.
Beautiful. Jana?
Gary, I am so amazed at how every time I hear your music, it just wraps around my soul like a warm blanket of love. I'm just so grateful for the gift that God has given you. Thank you. I had to laugh because I saw in the chat a couple of people saying, is it just too early to start crying? And I was laughing because, yes, I've already started crying because that song just touched me so deeply. So appreciate it. Linda, thank you so much for so beautifully introducing everybody coming into the room. You do that so beautifully. And thank you, Jonathan. I am so grateful to be a part of this community. My name is Jana Taylor. I'm just simply a business owner, a life coach. I do a lot of financial services. My first introduction to the Ancient Secrets was through a TED Talk. It was at the beginning of COVID and my office had shut down and I was experiencing some gallbladder issues and I was just searching for some solutions and I found the TED Talk. How many of you have seen the TED Talk? I need to do this gallery. Yes, so many of us. It's just such a beautiful thing. It just has such an amazing connection. And I had seen it before and loved it before, but this one, I just decided I'm going to start looking to see what else is available from this person who was giving this TED Talk. And I found that he was launching a book and I just was so compelled to sign up and help with this book launch. I couldn't understand it, but I just did it. And what was so cool was that a couple of days later, he sent me an email and asked me to connect and asked me to lead one of his teams. And, of course, all of this ego and fear just started to rise up inside of me. And so I shared that with him. I said, yes, I want to be a leader, but this is what's coming up for me. And he says, great. And I was like, what? He says, be on this call on Sunday. And I said, okay. So I joined the Sunday call. And Krishna Naram was on the call with what the call was it was the last call of the Miracle Experiment game. It was the first Miracle Experiment game. And Krishna happened to be on the call sharing some Marma points. And it was the letting go Marma points and the confidence Marma points. And I said, okay, I can do this while I'm doing this data entry. I can do these Marma points. And I did, like, constantly. Whenever my fear or my ego would come up, I would do the Marma points. Well, as COVID came, I lost my job and was looking for something different. And these Marma points got me through. When I would join the Miracle Experiment Game calls, along with Gary's music being played, the energy on the calls started to just, I knew I was starting to heal. I didn't know how or why or what was happening, but it was just happening. Dr. Naram says that 80% of the physical illnesses come from emotional pain and trauma. And I believe that that's what was starting to heal for me, was the emotional trauma and the pain. These Miracle Experiment games have become very close to my heart because every time we join, I think we've had 6 or 7 of them, I heal even more. I see these miracles, they just unfold. It's absolutely amazing. And it's all because of, these ancient secrets that we have. And I'm so grateful that we have this book. I don't have my book with me, but here it is on the Kindle. It's amazing. This book has changed my life. And I'm just so grateful for Dr. Clint and for him and Dr. Naram writing this book. Dr. Clint is an amazing person. He's one of a kind. When you're with him, you feel completely seen and heard, understood. He has a heart that's amazing. I think all of you can understand that. I'm so grateful that he was under the tutelage of Dr. Naram and that he's learned these secrets and he gets to pass them on to us. And he's pretty accomplished, even in his own right, world renowned. He's, been a university researcher. He's a business owner and he's a pulse reader and many, many other accomplishments. And it's with great honor that I get to introduce Dr. Clint G. Rogers.
Thank you. Thank you, Jana. So beautiful. What if there was a lineage of master healers that has been on this planet for thousands of years? What if this lineage had secrets for how to help us physically, mentally, and emotionally, that help us overcome all kinds of chronic and acute health challenges? And what if the lineage started with people like Jivaka, who was the physician for Buddha? And then he continued to pass those secrets on down through the years to masters like Baba Ram Dass, who continued to teach and see and preserve these secrets, these wisdom that come from the ages. What if the lineage also contained powerful, wise women, women of influence, women that really knew how to make an impact on the world by living and following these ancient secrets? Then what if somehow in this lineage, it found its way to some people that have lived during our time, people that have really taken a stand to choose something different with their lives than maybe other people would have expected? What if Baba Ram Dass, this master who, even at age 115, he wouldn't say I'm 115 years old, he'd say I'm 115 years young and many years to go. What if there was a confused, disgruntled doctor at the time that somehow found his way to this Baba Ram Dass, and that him and his wife really studied and learned these ancient secrets deeply? What if he actually transformed his own life? He went from being overweight, losing hair, high diabetes, high blood pressure, big depression, wanting to leave his job, to having lost so much weight, almost 100 pounds, getting his diabetes into normal, growing his hair. And then he always would say, I used to have no hair, but lots of time. Now I have no time, and I have lots of hair, but no time, like this. And what if his wife was just the perfect person to join with him in this journey and support him in this mission, this cause of how do you take these ancient secrets and take them from the ancient world into modern times? What if this master healer, what if he said many times, I'm a conduit, I'm like a conveyor belt of the ancient secrets. He says, I'm like a postmaster from the ancient world into modern times. And then what if on his path of helping over 1 million people, including the Dalai Lama, Mother Teresa, Nelson Mandela, thousands of 9/11 firefighters, what if somehow in there he trained lots of other powerful doctors from all over the world, doctors from Italy, like Dr. Giovanni, doctors from so many countries, Japan, England, Germany, Netherlands, Australia. What if he trained so many powerful doctors? And then what if somehow in the mix, he found a skeptic? A skeptic came in the midst who was not interested at all, but somehow because of the need of his own father, was compelled to look at what is this and go beyond what logic would say, beyond what reason would say, into a world in which he saw, wow, this is real, and just have a burning desire that more people should know this exists. And then what if as a result that master healer spent over 10 years training, teaching, sharing those secrets, and composed them into a book that before the book was even published, started to be translated by volunteers all over the world into nearly 30 languages. And that many of those languages are ready already for people to read, and that many more are coming soon, translated into languages like Italian and German, Spanish, Portuguese, Farsi, Arabic, Romanian, Japanese, Gujarati, Hindi. What if, as a result of the course of this master healer's life, these ancient secrets of the master healer, even beyond his physical body leaving us, that the secrets continue, and that the doctors that he trained all around the world got together and created a course, 100 days. Dr. Ram trained with his master for 100 days. Actually, he trained with him for 1,000 days, but every day he'd go for 100 days saying, please teach me the secrets. So what if we created a course called 100 Days that then over 250 people from all over the world, all different backgrounds, all different nationalities, all different religions participated in this course, different socioeconomic statuses, different people from all different dimensions of life. What if they all participated in this course and learned these deep ancient secrets, and saw that what Dr. Ram said, he says, healer, first heal thyself. And the first place isn't about information, but it's about transformation. It's about your own personal transformation. What if these very powerful, powerful people from all over the world were exposed to doctors who had been trained in the secrets and the lineage and applied them in their own lives to create an emergency kit, and then be given crazy challenge activities like cleaning toilets, or whatever. And as a result, they started to see, wow, maybe there's something that I haven't paid attention to before. Maybe there's some way to align with nature in which we can heal, we can have vibrant health, unlimited energy, and peace of mind. If that happened, it would be something to celebrate. And wouldn't you expect that if that happened, some pretty amazing things would unfold in the lives of those people? That for the first time, when the world has gone through a basic virtual shutdown in the middle of a pandemic, why would it be that the secrets for thousands of years would now be released in such a powerful way in so many people's hearts? What if that happened? Wouldn't it be a cause for hope and something to celebrate? Wouldn't it be awesome to see what happened in the lives of those people? So let's hear from some of the people what happened in their life as a result of learning these ancient secrets. First, I want to go to Marcel. Marcel, I don't know if you can unmute yourself. Yeah. There we go. Fantastic. So Marcel, I just want to say, the greatness I see in you is someone who follows the call of his heart, that has gone from being a bartender, he described it as making cocktails of destruction, to now making cocktails of healing and transformation. So Marcel, for you, what is a transformation you've experienced as a result of this 100-day course and from these ancient secrets?
I have experienced so many different levels of transformation, mind, body, and soul. Um, it's truly amazing. But my biggest transformation is my ability to pass this knowledge on to other people. And the reason I say this is because beginning of COVID last year, I had a really, really tough time. And if I didn't have somebody in my life there to help and guide me and help me out and get me on the right direction, I would have never found the love that you're sharing, Dr. Clint. Um, and I am eternal grateful. And this is my mother. She's always been there, showing the most unconditional love. And the transformation that I'm feeling in my heart is my ability to share my transformation with the rest of the world. And I've got the pleasure to start with the most important person in my entire life, and that's my mom. My mom has always suffered from eczema up and down throughout her life, used tons of creams that have been helpful at times, but it has always seemed to come back. And I believe it was about week 6, she was telling me she was having problems with eczema. And so I just simply sent her over a couple different recipes, very, very simple things like turmeric, black pepper powder, ghee, hot water, nothing too extreme. And she had the courage to try it. And even though she didn't necessarily like it, she started taking it over a couple days and her eczema was gone. And the story through this is that it was great that she took it for a couple days, and after eczema was gone, she stopped taking the home remedy, just the basic home remedy, and the eczema came back. And then she started taking it again, and her eczema is gone, and it hasn't returned as of now. She's still using the ghee and other little things to help her out. But the real thing that gets me is that money doesn't do anything. My mom doesn't care about money and this and that. It's the fact that I was able to share what I've learned and pass this knowledge along, because I can't think of anything better I could do other than show her the path that I'm on that is amazing and wonderful, and share this knowledge and truly heal herself. And it really just melts my heart. I'm overwhelmed with emotion right now, and I'm just everly grateful for everything that I've learned from this course. I have friends who sleep now who have never gotten better sleep. Their back pain is reduced from simple little marma points they can do throughout the day. I have so much excitement where and how much I'm going to be able to share as I continue my process learning the ancient secrets. It just blows me away how simple this can be and how effective it can be. And I'm just eternally grateful for you sharing this knowledge, Dr. Clint, you taking the courage to step out of your comfort zone, and you having the courage to challenge your ideas and beliefs throughout your life, and then also having the love and willing to share this with the world. Like,
thank you, Marcel. I didn't know Marcel's story until this week, but anytime anyone is loving their mother and using the ancient secrets to help their mother, according to Dr. that's one of the best blessings and graces you can give. So your mom is here now. Hi, Marcel's mom. Can you share what transformation have you noticed in Marcel?
The gratitude I have for Marcel is overwhelming. He's always been a very, very special. When I gave birth to him and he looked at me and I said, "You're my mirror." And so that's a lot of responsibility. And he's been healing for a long time. I mean, he's been a healer. I mean, the stories I have to tell, people just look at me going, "Are you sure he really did that?" But he's got it, and he's one of the most special people I know.
So
I'm very grateful for him.
thank you so much. Thank you for sharing it. You know, as we're thinking about the people in our lives, as you heal yourself, we call it contagious healing. You automatically benefit those that you love. And so thank you so much for joining. Thank you, Marcel, for committing to learn this, following your heart and following this direction. I want to go to another story real quick too, which is a really powerful story. We have all kinds of different people on the call who are sometimes doctors or nurses who have joined the call. The youngest person on the call that joined the 100-day course is 12, and the oldest is 80, a whole different range of all in between. And one of the people who we followed his story from the beginning is actually a dentist by training. And so I want to actually ask Nick, you know, just the greatness I see in you is someone that's willing to face anything. Like there's a principle in the book called the Diti Devo Bhava that Dr. Ram teaches, which is treat the unexpected guest as if God himself or herself has come. And you're facing some of the biggest mountains and obstacles and continuing to choose not a quick fix, but the path of deeper healing. And so I'd really love for you to share what has been your transformation from the Ancient Secrets and as a part of this course.
All right, thanks. I was wondering if I could screen share real quick, if you could let me share a couple of photos that that I have just to sort of show the transformation before I talk about it, maybe. Thanks. Let me share this with you here real quick. So this is me about, I don't know, early November. I was out, my mom took a picture of me, and then in the meantime, I had met Dr. Clint. I'd had some amazing experiences, and I've had a physical change. I was out with my friend, and 4 months later to the day, and I just so happened to be wearing the same clothes, and I said, wow, can you take a picture and just see the change that I've had? So once again, here's this one. You know, I was in the 230s. I don't even know what I was then. And then, like I said, I met Dr. Clint in the middle of December. I'd had just chronic back pain. I had a messed up disc. I had trouble using the muscles of my left leg fully. And so when I met Dr. Clint, he did a Marma Shakti on me. He used one of these Ancient Secrets. And here's a picture from a screenshot of the video that I have there. You know, I was 225, something like that. And then just a little bit ago, I recognized it was 4 months to the day when I saw Dr. Clint, and I decided to take a picture. And you can see the amount of change that that I've had. So I just wanted to start by showing that and sharing the
Amazing. You're getting
the
so
physical
much like,
change.
wow, Nick. There's so many people in the chat that are saying that. Even Jody says, I've witnessed Nick's transformation from the beginning until now. It's amazing. So many people giving you lots of love and congratulations.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting because, you know, I've lost since everything started when life got really hard for me. I decided to sort of make a change with my diet, and I started losing a little bit of weight, but it wasn't necessary. You know, I wanted to lose weight, but it wasn't my primary goal. And when I met you and I started with that that Marma Shakti, it did something to me. It helped me realize that I had some deeper traumas and deeper healing that needed to happen. And so my goal has been to heal, and it hasn't been necessarily to lose weight, but I think it's obvious that you can see, I mean, I've lost 65 pounds now, and it's not that I was on a diet to lose weight, but I did change my diet. I changed my diet to the mung bean soup, and I did that for a month. Just mung bean soup, that was it. And then I started to add some of the other things, the rice or apples, oatmeal, things like that. I started doing the herbs. I started taking those, and I was doing, obviously I've had some experiences with the Marma Shakti, but also doing the Marma points, the forgive and forget. the forgiveness one has been really key for me. Lifestyle changes, mental changes. But I was looking over the transformations that I have had since I've started this 100-day course.
Yeah, so
And when
really some
yeah.
context is every participant had to choose one thing they wanted to focus on. And so in the breakout room soon, you'll be able to hear many people share what was the thing they focused on, what was their transformation or some transformation. Nick, what was the thing you chose to focus on?
Yeah, the thing I chose to focus on, when you did that first Marma Shakti on me, I had this incredible healing experience, and I had chronic pain, but also the muscles of my left leg didn't work all the way. So I was sort of hobbling around. I couldn't really walk. I definitely couldn't run or jump. And after the experience, you said, well, you're going to continue to have some pain, and because you have deeper healing that you need to work on. And so as I started this course, I thought about it, and I felt like if I could have a reduction in my pain levels, in my physical pain, that would then help me to be more mentally aware, to have more emotional resiliency, and just as importantly, to have more of a spiritual connection with God again. And I mean, I was at the point where I really couldn't read a book. Things would jumble in my mind. I had so much pain. I couldn't think that well. The smallest things would just upset me. And I really felt isolated from God and a spiritual connection. And I looked at over the course of this 100-day course, I feel like I've had a 90% reduction in the pain that I've had. I feel like I've been able to have increased my mental ability by 50%, my emotional resiliency by 60%, and my spiritual connection has increased by 70%. It's just incredible. Like Dr. Clint said, it's not necessarily like an easy or quick fix. And I'm still not in a place where, I can sit down without having a lot of pain. I'm still not in a place where, I'm just, everything's smooth sailing. I'm still in the middle of it, but I can look back and see the changes and the transformation that I've had. And I just want to say, thank you, Dr. Clint, for being there at the right time. I've been on this healing path, and you helped me along the way back in December. And then joining this 100-day course has also just been one of those key things on my healing journey. And I'm not done yet. I think I recognize I have more to go. But it's been truly incredible. And the transformation, as you could see on the pictures, was incredible. But that's really a small part compared to the overall transformation that I've had.
So beautiful. And I know your mom is on this call as well. I know she has her video on and she's not unmuting, but I just want to say we love you, Debbie. And awesome that you had the courage and faith to take your son to that first meeting. Actually, there's a funny story. When Nick was about to meet me that morning or the day before, he saw this book on his mom's table and he picked it up, he looked at it and he says, that looks like a bunch of, what was the word you used?
Quackery.
Yeah, that looks like a bunch of quackery. And his mom said, well, actually, you're just about to meet this person. He's like, well, I guess I probably shouldn't have said that out loud. So what's possible? One thing I say is bring your skeptic and just allow to see what transformations are possible. There's principles in the course that everyone's learned. Marcel, everything is a medicine or poison depending on how you use it. From just learning one remedy, sometimes it can make a big difference for someone you love, like his beautiful mom, for Nick. And what a big transformation. And then we've had people join from literally all over the world. And I'm going to go right now to Jill and Denny. Another big part of the course was just Dr. Ron would always ask people, what do you want? What do you want? And when I first met with Denny, this beautiful angel, and with Jill, these two angels, Denny says, she just said she had a message to share. And so as a part of being in this course, we've all benefited from her having this want. And the message was about love. And so many people have benefited from this, I'd say, transmission of love. I was going to say explosion of love, but that sounded a little messy. So transmission of love. I just want to hear from you. What's the transformation you've seen as a part of this course?
Wow. For me personally, just being totally surrounded and filled with love, with all the calls and everybody interacting, has just been extraordinary. It's expanded my heart, which I didn't think could, I never thought about being expanded before. But the love has just been extraordinary. And when Dr. Clint asked me, what do I want? And it was difficult to work out what I did want physically. It was my mouth, because I have or had an autoimmune issue where my gums were really red and my mouth was full of ulcers. And with changing my diet and loving the mung beans and doing the detox, I have reduced it by 90%. In fact, two funny quick stories. One was that we live in a very small village in the Cotswolds in England. And so we have very traditional type of shops. And I'd heard that there was going to be a donut shop opening. And I was about to start the detox on the Monday, but I heard that the donut shop was opening on the Monday. So I thought, well, I won't start the detox until the Tuesday then. So that gives me the option, if I really want to have a donut, I can. Now, my taste buds have radically changed and I'm hardly eating any sweet things. So this theory in my mind that I might want a donut, and if I couldn't have it because I was doing a detox, my ego would kick in, was hilarious. So I decided I wouldn't start the detox to the Tuesday. And I couldn't understand why I hadn't heard anything about the shop opening and the celebration of it opening or anything. So I went back on the website to have a look, and it wasn't opening until a week on Monday. So I'd actually got the date totally wrong. I was a week out. So I didn't have my donut. That was fine. I probably wouldn't have anyway, but that was it. So we decided that we go out for a meal at a little sort of a cafe. And in my meal, which I was really good with, but I hadn't realized came cheese. Now, I hardly eat cheese, but I decided I would because, of course, I was going on a detox the next day. Had cheese, and my whole mouth erupted in pain and sore and rawness, just in having that bit of cheese. I have to say it went as quickly as it came because I felt my body was sharing with me what was a medicine and what was a poison, because it just went again. But it was just hilarious that my head, my ego was going, oh, you might want a donut and you might as well have cheese. So it was, in a way, it was brilliant to show me how much I had improved and how much healing my mouth had happened. And it wasn't until Dr. Clint said to me, well, what's the percentage of healing? And I said, well, it's probably 90%. I didn't like to say 100%, but I'd almost say it is 100%. Because showing me how bad it was.
You guys make me so happy every time I hear you speak. Denny, what's one transformation you've seen in Jill? What's the difference you notice in Jill?
Oh, there's a freedom in Jill, a joy in Jill. The transformation basically is joy and her confidence in who she is. And the gift she has to offer. There's a freedom in her. A weight's been lifted off her. It's lovely. Absolutely lovely.
So beautiful. You know, when I see both of you, I'm reminded that healing happens on multiple levels. You know, it's not just physical, but so many things. Even Dr. Ram, he said 80% of our physical ailments come from unresolved trauma when we were children.
Yes.
And it's powerful. Even when I see you, you know, I hope everyone gets to know your story. We're creating a book actually from Denny's life. And it's a really powerful story about how no matter what pains and no matter what heartaches you've been through in your life, you can choose love. One of my favorite quotes from Dr. Ram is this. He says, every heartache, every obstacle, every challenge you face has within it the seeds of equal or greater benefit. And Denny, anything you want to share along those lines about how you can face any challenge? Some people couldn't be on the call today because of emergencies. Some people are on the call today because even they lost someone they love recently. So there's lots of, in the process, you've heard lots of miracle stories, but
yes,
this is the process of deeper healing. And so for those participants that didn't lose 80 pounds, you know, no worry. It's a deep process. This is the beginning. But Denny, anything you'd like to speak to anyone who's in that moment of just saying, you know, is healing possible? Is love possible?
the only thing that is possible ultimately is love. The only thing that wins is love. It's the only 100% genuine part of us. The other is made up of our journey, of our learning, of our journey, and all the ego emotions that go with it. But love is so pure, so true.
Yeah.
And when we're in real mess, which I myself, on account of the course, have been in 2 or 3 times, a huge learning, physical pain, which has been very good for me. And Jill's been very patient.
You didn't say it was very good for you at the time,
No,
I
not
have
at
to
all.
say.
No, I've actually gone to sleep going love, 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 as the kind of bubble around me saying you're going to be safe while you sleep because you are in love. You are being protected by this emotion love. And it put me to sleep each night perfectly okay. And it was the closeness of love and owning it. You have to be all right because it comes from love.
You know, it's one thing to say that, but you know, Denny, she was an orphan when she was a child and then abused so horribly and then gone through all kinds of pain. And so to go through that and to say all there really is love. That's a powerful statement. I'm just excited for you as you're clear on what do you want that all of us can benefit. So thank you so much, Denny and Jill.
My feeling is you end up there.
Yeah.
With that knowledge, but you maybe have to go through that story first or similar stories to suddenly understand what Spirit is trying to teach us. That we are simply love, but the ego is doing all the journey and we get stuck up with the journey and hurt by the journey. And if we can get back to what we really are, then ego has far less to say.
Yeah, and going back to the first quote in the opening part of the book, I didn't come to teach you. I came to love you, and love will teach you. When I asked Denny, what is her big transformation or the thing that love taught her in this course, she says, I didn't know how big love could be. You know? And just to see it go deeper and deeper, I think all of us have benefited from that. So thank you so much from my heart. I want to go to, you know, the variety of cases are so big. You know, we've had so many people with so many different situations of all different ages. Kelly Price, who's a nurse from Iowa, works in the ICU or was working in the ICU, started just following one of the recipes from the book for Hmong soup. Saw such a big transformation, so much more energy. Candy, who's a teacher, had such crippling arthritis, she didn't know if she would want to continue teaching. Now she says it's 80, 70, 80, 90% gone. If you change your food, you change your future. Beth had a son who had symptoms like ADD, ADHD, and now sees such a big change in him. Denise, when she first learned about the ancient secrets, she was using a walker and very much overweight. Now she's lost 80 pounds, walking around, and has gotten off of almost all of her medications, or all the ones that I know of. Judy Lamar, 80 years young. When she started, she called herself an LOL, a little old lady. She was using a walker or a cane to get around. Now her pain is gone from her joints, and she walks so fast through the through the complexes in her apartment that people are like, whoa, slow down. So she says when her birthday came at 80, she says, this is the renaissance of my life. And then other secrets have helped people with abundance. Esther Francis and Sarah and Sangeeta from Nepal, living in UK, she actually donated to the orphan home. You know, all of the proceeds from this went to these orphan kids. You know, the majority of the proceeds went to there besides the expenses. And man, she says, I'm going to do more. So she raised 3 times the price of the course just to donate for these orphan kids. When she started on a scholarship, she learned the principles by which when you apply it, you can manifest different results in your life. So I'm so excited because you're going to go into breakout rooms where you're going to hear many people, your loved one, what was their transformation, and other people that they've been on the journey with in their pod. And you're going to hear from them, what was their transformation? But before that, we have a real special surprise for you. We actually have this beautiful group that has supported. I just want to start by acknowledging Dr. Hemlan. He can't be on the call today because of an emergency situation, but sending him so much love. And we've had the support of an amazing team of mentors and house guides. And it's all been supported by Dr. Smita Naram and Krishna Naram. And we actually have a real surprise. They're going to speak more in each of the breakout rooms, but I just want them to share some message of love, if they can. So Dr. Smita and Krishna, welcome, welcome.
Namaskar, namaskar, and I love you all so much. I just heard few stories and my heart was touched. I had little tears in my eyes. I remembered 1987 when me and Dr. Naram started our work together. And he was bubbling. And trust me, we had nothing at that time. We didn't have house. We started our journey from having nothing, no riches. But even at that time, he only and only spoke about contributing in others' life. He only spoke about loving everybody. And when you were sharing those powerful results, my heart was touched. I had tears in my eyes remembering Dr. Naram and thinking how much satisfied he would have felt, how much love he would have felt from all of you, like I am feeling today. And I'm sure my son is feeling that too. We are from two different places. So normally we are always on the same camera. We love to be together. We are very connected. But today was a special day. So it reminded me of a very powerful story of a Swiss woman that we met in 1997. Me and Dr. Naram, we used to travel to Switzerland for almost 10 years, 2 or 3 times a year. I used to work in Dolemo and Geneva. He always worked in Bern, which is the main capital city. And then we met again in Bern and sometimes we were together. So I met this woman who in 2005 came dancing literally with a letter in her hand and a report in the room. When she entered the consultation room, she was literally dancing, 80 years of age, and dancing with the report and the letter. So I was very curious, what is it that she's dancing like that at this age, you know? And she just took out her report of her cancer. So she met us 7 years ago, and she had a stomach tumor, a very large one, 18 centimeter. And obviously her doctor said that we'll have to remove a lot of your parts because the spleen is involved and there is a large and the small intestine and different parts of your stomach are all involved because of the size. So there was nothing they could do. And she wrote a very strong letter. And that's why I wanted to share that with you today, because that letter I felt was a very powerful. And I found that kind of a spirit in all of you. That letter she wrote to her cancer. She said, I love everybody on this planet. But more than that, I love myself. And for this reason, you are the unwanted guest in my body. I'm sure I have invited you by having a wrong habits of diet, lifestyle, and so on. But I want to tell you that you are unwanted. I have not invited you consciously, and I love myself. And for this reason, I don't want to have unwanted guests in my body. And I will keep inviting and attracting now onwards only and only wanted guest in my body, which is that removing the toxins by following the Mung Soup diet, and the herbal formulas that Dr. Naram gave, and the juices and everything that Dr. Naram has given. So this good habits will invite good health and a guest of a good health in my body. And that's my expression of my love to myself. She came after 8 years. I mean, she used to meet every year. With the result, I was surprised because she followed everything up to the point that we told her to do. Every month detox, a very strict program we gave her. And after 8 years, she came with a report where the tumor shrunk up to 8 centimeters. From 18, it went down to 8. And she was dancing because she said, look, that's what happened in my life. And that's why I have beaten this unwanted guest from my life. So my message to all of you is that you should, and we all should love everybody on this planet. But trust me, when you join 100 days training like this one, and when you follow things in your life, you are the example of someone who loves yourself. When you love yourself, your heart is full of love. You can spread this love on this planet. So my message today is that love yourself. And the courage that you have shown to follow all the principles of healing in your life, because it's so difficult. It's difficult to arrange the mung bean. I saw the bag of mung bean somebody posted on the group. I was thrilled. It touched my heart. So it is difficult. I know it is so difficult, but you all had courage to do it. And you all had commitment to achieve what you wanted to achieve as your goal. So that is the demonstration of love for yourself. Keep it up. More you love yourself, more you give it to others on this planet. And the last word that I want to say is bless others. Whatever you've learned today is a fire of healing. It's a fire of ancient secret. Comes from such an old lineage. Spread it in the world. When you spread it in the world, you bless others by giving them the health. You get blessings back in your life. It can come from anywhere. But when you bless others, you get it back. So just spread, share the knowledge. Let it grow in the society. Let it become a culture so that we slowly and steadily, step by step, just from our own small capacity, we contribute in creating a real healthy society. I'm just proud of all of you that you all did it for 100 days of yay!
Powerful. You know, she actually mentioned many of you on this call maybe didn't get a chance to participate in the 100-day course, but you want to, or you want to participate in it again. I'm posting in the chat right now a link that you can share with anyone that you think is interested if they want to participate in some way. So that's there. I want to go now to Krishna. Krishna, do you have any words of love that you want to share? I know you're going to share more in the breakout room too, but anything you want to share on this call? Let's see if we can unmute you here. I think you have to click unmute, Krishna, still. For some reason, it's still muted. Hey, Krishna, just 1 second. I think you stopped to unmute yourself. Let's just make sure. All right. I want to make sure you get yourself unmuted. I want to introduce you to Krishna, one of the most amazing people on the planet. I always say, imagine meeting Gandhi before he's known as Gandhi. You know, it's like that much love, that much passion, that much possibility I see in this very powerful person. So please, Krishna, share with us any wisdom, love, inspiration. Let's see, Krishna, are you able to?
First of all, big congratulations to everybody. Oh,
We can hear you, but it's kind of breaking.
am I audible?
Yeah, we can hear you. It's just kind of breaking in and out a little bit.
Okay.
Even just
You
from
can open your heart and then just take in whatever.
Oh, Krishna, so beautiful. Unfortunately, it's cutting in
Let
and
me
out.
write.
Okay, maybe you can try and come back in on a different device or something like that. We want to make sure we hear from you, but I'm just gonna pause that right now. I want to go. We're gonna go into breakout rooms soon, and in the breakout rooms, you're gonna hear the transformation from everyone, and then also in some of the breakout rooms, you have some guides and some mentors that will share deeper insights. Now, someone who's been a part of the course, and we just want to make sure she has a chance to acknowledge some people. I want to say Carol Ray, who's been such a big part of the course from the beginning. Go ahead and share anything that you want to from your heart.
I'm so grateful for the opportunity that I've been given to work with this amazing group of people. And I've had interactions with so many of you. I've loved your pictures. I've loved the interaction, and I'm so grateful. And so my gratitude to Dr. Naram for creating this lineage, and to the masters of the Siddha Veda lineage who've inspired us. And it's a lot of information, but more importantly, it's a transformation. And it's very difficult to find words from all of us to all of you, Dr. Smita, Krishna, Dr. Giovanni, Dr. Steve, so many of you. So what we've done as a group with a lot of work from Heidi is we've created a website just to express our gratitude to you. And I've put the link in there if you'd like to take a peek. It's hundreds of us who have created videos, written letters. There's some beautiful, spectacular artwork that's been created on your behalf. So from all of the students of the 100-day course, our sincerest, heartfelt gratitude to each and every one of you. And we hope that as you look through our little mementos, that you realize how much we love you, how much we appreciate you. And this has become a life changer for all of us. So deepest gratitude. Thank you, Heidi, for hours and hours and hours of work creating the website. Thanks to all of you who've contributed.
This is amazing. This is really, truly amazing. Oh, that's so unexpected.
Surprise!
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm very, very much looking forward to going through that. And it reminds me so much, this is not the end. This is the beginning. Dr. Smita gave us such a powerful challenge. Plant this seed. You know, Dr. Ram, he would often see people and say, I still have this problem and it hasn't gone away yet. And he's like, well, how long have you been taking the herbs and doing the diet, change the food? They said 3 months. And he says, well, how long has the problem been there? They said 30 years. So he's like, okay, and how long have you tried other things? Said, oh, the whole time. Okay, how long does it take to have a baby? He would say. And they say 9 months. What if you try and pull that baby out in 3 months? Is that going to be a very good idea? No. So some things take time. And in this process of not being a quick fix, some healing takes a deep time. But this is the beginning. And the seed of it is so beautiful. And the most powerful thing is that it works. So we're going to go into breakout rooms. At the end, you're going to hear from people in the breakout room that you love will share about their transformation. Everyone will have a chance to be witnessed. And at the very end of that, we have a special message recorded from Dr. Naram, a special video recorded from Dr. Naram, and then a gift that's valued at $97 for anyone who has been a part of this experience that wants to see what kind of magic can happen in your life. When you follow these principles, it looks like miracles, but it's actually based on a science, an ancient science. Now, for those who are house guides, house mentors, you can stay in the main room or you can choose to one of the rooms. And then we just want to make sure every breakout room has someone there. So now, thank you, Carol. Thank you, Heidi. Thank you, John. Thank you, all the pod leaders, all the house mentors, all the house guides, all the participants, all the friends and family, all the moms and all the dads. You know, in a way, this is a birth. Actually, I saw there's someone on the call by the name of Daniel. It's his birthday today. I met him in Miami. And he said for 7 years, he was facing anxiety, depression, so much struggle. His transformation through the course is that now he says now he feels like his soul